And kalau kamu nggak belajar keras, kamu akan end up jadi seperti saya.
Okay.
Jadi, and she said, I wanted to become a medical doctor, but I was playful just like you guys, and look where I am right now. So it was such a, I'm not going to be a teacher, because she herself didn't want to be, or maybe at that point she felt like, she didn't want to be a teacher, something like that. So that motivated me. I was like, I didn't want to.
What is your favorite food here?
Timpan.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sahabat Habasulo, semoga selalu dalam keadaan yang baik. Kita hari ini akan berbincang dengan seorang peneliti yang baru sampai di Aceh, tapi bukan orang Aceh. Jadi kita perlu menggali ilmu dari beliau. Dan kali ini kita akan berdiskusi tentang pengalaman beliau, penelitiannya, pendidikannya yang spesifik di bagian bahasa Inggris. Tapi mungkin saya sebagai host baru hari ini, untuk hari ini saja, atau mungkin ke depan nanti kita lihat. Nama saya Baikuni, dan kali ini saya akan memimpin podcast hari ini, diskusi hari ini. Baik, saya perkenalkan sedikit. Nama beliau adalah Nur Ilianis Adnan, atau biasa dipanggil dengan Ili. Mungkin sekarang sudah harus tambah doktor gitu ya? Atau memang dari dulu udah lama mungkin
4 tahun.
4 tahun, oke.
Ya.
Berarti Dr. Ilianis Adnan. Beliau adalah peneliti dan juga dosen dari Universiti Teknologi Mara Pulau Pinang, Malaysia. Beliau juga Senior Lecturer English, dan S3-nya adalah beliau graduate from University USM, University Science Malaysia. I'm sorry. Maaf. My bad. Okay. So terima kasih kepada Ibu Ili sudah datang dan bersedia di waktu yang sangat singkat. Saya yakin jadwalnya padat hari ini. Tiba-tiba harus ke sini. Terima kasih untuk kesediaannya.
Terima kasih udah jemput.
Ya, hari ini kita akan berdiskusi lebih banyak tentang pengalaman Ibu mengajar, tentang hasil penelitiannya, pekerjaan yang sedang dilakukannya, dan semoga dari hasil diskusi ini bisa menjadi ikhtibar atau menjadi pelajaran bagi pendengar atau penonton podcast kita hari ini. Tapi sebelum kita jauh ke sana, boleh diperkenalkan dulu sedikit background, your educational background, your childhood background. What brings you to this subjects as English educator or English teacher?
All right. So first of all, my name is Ilianis, Nur Ilianis. So you can call me Ili. Yeah? So I'm from Malaysia, Penang, Malaysia, and I completed my S3 ya di sini, PhD-nya tahun 2019.
Okay.
Jadi ceritanya satu aja.
Okay.
Zaman dulu aku nggak mau jadi guru.
Okay.
Motivationnya because when I was 17, so one of the teachers, this is like the key for who I am today, I guess.
Key momentnya.
Key momentnya really hit me, because when I was 17, there was one teacher in my school. So she was a biology teacher. So we were in a biology lab. And then everyone was very noisy, 17 ya, SM gitu.
Yeah, I can relate.
So everyone was everywhere, and then she was very mad at us, and then she just said this one line: if you don't study hard, because 17 is like the final year of our secondary school, and then we go to colleges and university and whatnot. So she said, this is the final year, and kalau kamu nggak belajar keras, kamu akan end up jadi seperti saya.
Okay.
Jadi, and she said, I wanted to become a medical doctor, but I was playful just like you guys, and look where I am right now. So it was such a I'm not going to be a teacher, because she herself didn't want to be, or maybe at that point she felt like, she didn't want to be a teacher, something like that. So that motivated me. I was like, I didn't want to. But then when I went into my pre-university, my mom, she's also one of the biggest motivator in my life. So she was like, okay, why not you take up English course, a teacher? I was like, no, not a teacher, because I don't want to be a teacher. But she was like, no, you take a English course, but you can also somehow be, not only a teacher. If you don't want to teach in school, you can just, explore other fields, education fields, but then, just take English because it's wider, kind of. So I said, okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So I tried, and she sent me to, she helped me out in choosing the courses and what. And then in Malaysia, we have TESOL. It's TESOL, but others call it like TESOL. But in USM, University of Science Malaysia, we have it as TESOL. So
we call it TESOL here.
TESOL,
Yeah.
okay. So teaching English to speakers of other languages. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So I took that one, bachelor degree S1, and then S2 sambung ke public speaking, thesis on public speaking, then S3 juga, something like communication skills.
Okay.
On confidence level in speaking English.
Okay.
So
your background is actually English teacher.
Sort of.
Your first background is English, but then you advance it into different fields like public speaking, more like not only kind of traditional definitions of English teacher, but more like a different kinds of.
Ya, tapi ya saya dosen juga ya.
Yeah.
Pengakhirannya dosen juga tapi.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love teaching, so that's when I discovered my passion. Like teaching is my passion.
Yeah,
it's just that maybe not in school as how the teacher used to describe. At least.
Yeah, it's such a plot twist that I thought it's gonna be a good story. Like, come on, you gotta be like me. But yeah, I mean, I can relate to that because I grew up not wanting being a teacher. I'm a teacher as well.
No. Sama ya berarti.
Tak mau jadi pengajar sebenarnya ya karena merasa bahwa capek. Like it's a tiring job. But once I start teaching, I just fell in love with that. So yeah, it's a very interesting background you have there. So what is right now that you're doing? Like what is your current things that is you doing right now?
So I'm an English lecturer in UiTM, University Teknologi Mara Penang, Malaysia, and at the same time I'm also teaching. This is the not twist, but I'm also teaching Malay language.
Oh, okay.
To I don't have a degree in Malay language, but when I was I think 10 years ago, so I taught English at one language center. But then when that moment, I taught English to foreigners from more like the Middle East, China and all. But then I was offered to teach Malay language because it's my mother tongue. So they gave me kind of like training and all. So sent me to factories to teach all these workers. And starting from there, I started to fall in love with teaching Malays because I feel like when I teach English, I meet people from this side of the world. And then when I teach Malay, I meet the other side of the world. So it's kind of like the whole world comes to us when we do language. So
such a different views also when you start teaching English and then teaching Malay.
Oh, very much. Yeah.
Right? And how do you describe if there's any difference between?
Wow, teaching English, I think it's just it's very, I don't know, teaching, because growing up learning English, so teaching English something is, I guess it's more like technical stuff, it doesn't, I don't know, it's just like more of like linguistic part when you teach the grammar and all and stuff. But when I teach Malay, I teach more adults. So I meet people from so many parts of the world and mainly the Germans. So I learn a lot of their cultures and somehow when I get to know them, I become friends because they're all adults. So we end up becoming friends and go for coffee after class and so on. So it really affects, it gives me a huge positive impact on shaping who I am.
Right. Kind of giving you a different kinds of personal growth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very much.
That's very interesting. So so you came here a couple of days ago or today?
A couple days ago.
Okay. And you since you've been in Aceh, I heard that you are delivering some kind of your findings, a research finding, or what is it?
No, it was just something like sharing session with the postgrad students.
Can you tell me more about that?
All right. So today I presented something like the title, killing two birds with one stone. So
Okay.
it's just like work-life balance, kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
how it was just like a sharing experience. I was so glad that most of the students, just now the PhD students, they were all very engaging. So it was not like only me doing the talking. So they were also involving, sharing their thoughts and their experience as well. So it was just sharing on how people do this work-life balance, on how
Okay.
they manage their time, and yeah, that was all about it.
In relation to your work, balancing between your work and your like daily life? Or-
Mostly like no on postgraduate life, the
Okay.
journey of postgrads.
How do you describe your postgraduate life? I mean, I'm very interested because I also just experienced that.
I can hear like
You know.
sorry.
That huge that long silence. So how do you describe that kind of life?
I'm a workaholic person, so
Okay.
I enjoy working, but at the same time I have to study, right? Because that's my motivation. So there was once I saw one quote, and this quote, I don't know if I'm quite a feminist as well. So there was one quote that attracted me very much when I was very young. Saw my ex after 10 years.
Yeah, I got that.
Miss or Mrs. Doctor, I said. So
Right.
that was like the main goal. I was
Right.
like, I have to get my doctorate very soon. So that was what pushing me through. And
Right.
so S3 nggak punya apa-apa masalah. But it was okay, smooth, alhamdulillah. Everything was fine. But then it was just juggling because I had to do. I love working, so I was teaching Malay to expats, and then teaching English, and doing my study at the same time, doing private classes at the same time. So a lot of things to
Wow.
juggle.
Okay.
Yeah, but then I love doing what I did.
So how do you find balance with that kind of hours you're working on? Like, what do you do? You maybe the way I separate the
How
way
do you
the
do
way
it? How do you
the
do
way
it?
the way I do it, like I'm separating my brain. This is a brain working period. So whenever I'm outside of the house, I'm working mode. But once I got home, like I abandoned all of those thoughts, whatever. Although of course impossible, but
Wow.
that's how my intention was.
Yeah.
Once I got home, I mainly focus on whatever that I need to do at home. So more on the spacious thing, the way but sometimes right like during the pandemics, it will be harder, lebih susah karena kita harus bekerja di rumah.
Yeah, harus mix everything.
Iya,
Yeah.
jadinya saya harus maneuver like setting my own
Boundary, kinda?
working hours. Like if I'm working, I'm gonna use this app. So that means my mental is working with the app. But once I stop the app, I'm stopping working. I stop working. That's how I do it. But how do you manage doing? I mean, I believe you do much
Everything.
more than
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
What I can describe is that there was one point at I was in Japan. In 2019, so I was waiting in Disneyland precisely. So I was waiting to meet the Mickey Mouse in the queue. You know how Disneyland queue was like
Right.
so long, right? So I was in a vacation mode. But then I checked my phone and I was like, oh, there's an email. Okay, checked. Oh, somebody is going to pay me high rate for this teaching Malay. And I was like looking at my schedule and all. And then my brother was in front of me. He was like, hey, look at this, look at that, look at this Cinderella, look at this. I was like, hang on. Are you crazy? You're looking at your phone, you're looking at your email, you're organizing your schedule in Disneyland?
Right.
You and it's
Yeah.
like, talk to my hand. I need to settle this at that point. So to that extent, I love working, and I tried my very best to I tried not to mix things, but at some points you just have to.
Yeah.
So
No, of course.
yeah, and then I just have to just go with it and try my very best to do what I can at that time. So
Okay.
I was talking about multitasking just now with them, with in the sharing session. So I'm a strong believer of multitasking.
How do you define multitasking?
Doing few things.
I mean, like how do you, what when you say multitasking, are you doing things at the same time, or how do you do that? Like what helps you doing those multitasks?
I guess because I bring this because I
Okay.
talk about this as well just
This is
now.
like your holy book.
Yeah. My
Okay.
holy book, so I cannot live without it. It's my
Next to
planner.
Quran.
Oh my god, such a controversial issue, right?
Okay.
So yeah, kind of. Yeah. I was talking to them about having a to-do list. Like since I was 13, I was already being forced to do to-do list by my ex-principal in my high school. So he was like forcing everyone to have a small notebook and then list down what you do for that day and all. And then because of that, that 5 years of high school, I kind of, I was stuck with that, and until now I cannot use the word stuck anymore because I feel that it helps me so very much in managing my time. And when I list down all the things, when I tick, I feel so much of a
Really?
self-satisfaction
I
there.
can understand. I
Like
can relate.
it's even though it's just one tick,
Yeah,
it was like
yeah.
it's really
Yeah, yeah.
indescribable. Like
No, that's the feeling when
you understand?
Yeah, like for me, like I lost things easily, so physical notebook is not working for me. Like
so I'm more digitalized.
I'm more like I need to have one things for me. I will not lose that.
Alright.
But if I have multiple like books, pages, I will lose the pages or I'll forget where I'm gonna put it. So I'm just gonna go digital and working more with the apps. So that's how I work. And those, menconteng the tip, that kind of really good feeling when you're done. And I think
Exactly.
that's working for you. That's working for me. It's one of the good things that we have learned. And I think you're now more like a productive guru.
Oh.
Productivity, not productive. Productivity guru. Okay. Thank you for that sharing. So how do you find Aceh? Like you've been here a couple of days. How do you find Aceh? Like
I've been a couple of times.
oh, okay. I'm sorry for that.
So I love Aceh. So the first time I came was in 2016. So I think people in Aceh are very, very welcoming and they have such a big heart and very warm. So people from from Europe, when they come to Malaysia, they always say, "Oh, Malaysians are very welcoming," and But I think when I come to Aceh, Malaysia, no,
Okay.
nothing close.
Okay.
People in Aceh are like more welcoming, and I just feel like everyone is like family here. Like
Right,
you just
right.
meet one time and then you just click like.
Yeah, they want to make sure that you want to go back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is my third time already.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I think this time it's about time for me to do something more beneficial than just sightseeing. So I contacted one of the lecturers here and I said, okay, maybe we can do some sharing or whatnot. And then
Okay.
here I am.
Okay, this is a question that I should ask because I always ask whenever I met somebody who's not from Aceh or from somewhere other regions. What is your favorite food here?
Timpan.
Okay. That's a very interesting choices. What makes you like timpan?
I don't know. So the first time I came was 2016. I didn't have the chance to eat it. Or maybe I did, but I forgot. But then I came here the second time during Lebaran kemarin. Jadi dibawanya ke rumah keluarga kawan teman ya.
Okay.
Teman itu, and then ada timpan-timpan. Oh, okay. Dan makan. Sedap banget ini.
Di Malaysia tak ada timpan kan?
Tak ada.
Tak ada.
Tak ada.
Oh.
Jadi okay, jadi bilangnya oh, ini aku suka banget nih. Okay. Terus makan 5 atau apa? Enggak kesurupan ya.
Tak apa.
5 di rumah tak, di rumah orang yang enggak kenal
Yeah,
nih makan.
yeah.
Terus makan 5. Okay, suka. Ni gimana nih mau dapat ini? Oh, ini lebaran aja, Bu. Oh, okay, lebaran. Okay, enggak apa-apa. Oh, sedih. Okay, pulang. Tapi kemarin bila sampai a few days ago when I came here in the morning, we went to Dapur Kopi, I think. And then they serve timpan and I was like timpan, it's not lebaran, but I can still so
Okay, so there are different kinds of. Sorry, I'm following up with the timpan. There are different kinds of timpan, like ada yang serikaya. Serikaya. Oh, your favorite one. Okay.
no more, nothing else, just the serikaya.
Okay. What about mee? What about the mee? People like those who come from Jakarta, from other region outside of Aceh, they tend to talk about mee Aceh is one of the best, blah blah blah. But
I think
have
it was
you tried?
I tried.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of mee, I guess.
Okay.
It was okay.
Okay.
But I now I remember one thing I like. Murtabak telur, 2 telur. Murtabak
Okay.
yang ada 2 telur.
Okay.
Itu like
Okay.
I cannot find it in Malaysia, so.
I think you're more like a common Achenese than just somebody from Malaysia. Like whenever I met somebody from Jakarta, for example, came to Aceh, like, what's your favorite food? Like, oh, biace, of course, blah blah blah. Like, typical answer. But now I met you, like, say timpan and martaba. Okay, I never heard that kind of answer, but it was good to hear. And welcome to Aceh. And thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the last couple of days, maybe, or maybe one day left you have.
A few more days.
A few more days. Okay. I hope you really had a good time here and enjoy the sightseeing or maybe some other activities that you're going to do.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for coming to this session as well. This is I'm very glad and happy to see you today.
Thank you. Likewise.
So, thank you. So, sahabat suluh sahabat suluh sekalian, terima kasih sudah bersama kami dalam beberapa waktu yang mungkin tidak terlalu panjang karena mungkin Ili juga sibuk dengan kegiatan yang lain, apapun kegiatan yang akan dilakukan. I believe that will be so much more beneficial either for yourself also for the community, and thank you for that. Demikian saja yang bisa kita diskusi hari ini. Terima kasih sudah atas kesempatannya, and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.